Hello, y'all. So, ignore the bonnet and the night attire. It is going on 9 o'clock at night. The day is Monday, and y'all know Mondays are wash days for me. Anybody who's black or white or anybody anything with curly hair, y'all know we set aside a particular day of the week to wash our hair. Unlike straight hair, we can't wash our hair every day like that. So Mondays up until this point were my wash days, but that's going to have to change because we did shift bids today. So I told y'all I was going to do a whole separate video in regards to the shift bid. Now this is where sugar honey iced tea hit the fan. Sure enough, like the title says, if y'all didn't catch the emojis, honey. So why do I say that it was sugar honey iced tea? It was nothing like we was taught in training. So I want y'all to be prepared for this. In training, they're going to tell you about how you do your preferences. Like, I was thinking that we was going to do our preferences first and, show that this is the times that we won't really. And you highlight it in one color. And then you highlight the secondary, shift that you can do. But, this is not what you really want. You highlight that in another color. Then the least desire in another color, and then the ones that you don't want in another color. So 4 colors in all, and then the ones that you can't choose from is grayed out. So with that being said, we thought we was going to get that. They darn gonna set us up for the hokey doke. We had to go into the actual shift bid, not our preferences. The shift bid is totally different. It's the complete opposite of the color spectrum that we were taught of how to darn gonna block out everything. And this as soon as we logged in. So at 9 o'clock, child, honey, you had to darn gonna get your bid in. But the thing is this. We trying to figure out exactly when did bids start. Because our classroom starts at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And by the time I realized that we supposed to be actually doing the shift bid, by the time 9:04 came around, honey, it was darn going blocked. Everything was blocked out. I wish I could show y'all. Honey, it was something terrible. So I quickly had to learn how to do this shift thing. And then once again, you had to actually create your own break. So every 4.5 hours, you actually have to leave a space blank to create a mandatory break. Now this is a first for me because I'm not used to doing this. Usually I'm used to having set hours. Or if I had to do a shift bid, I would type in my own hours. I've never had to do a series of blocks. So this is the first type of job where you actually have to highlight the blocks and whatnots for your shift. So I'm learning this and I'm thinking that it's automatic because we were also taught that you just, go straight down and it would automatically put in your break manually for you. That's a lie. It does not do that. So once again, when they teach you that, it puts in the break for you, for whatever reason, you got to put in your own break 4.5 hours. Also, if you decide that you want to work more than 8 hours, don't think it's going to be all at one time because it would then give another error. You got to do one or two things. Either you got to put in another break because if you go to the 9-hour mark, once again, you got to put in another break up in there. And then as we learning this for the first time, going against everything that was taught in training, the darn on slots are getting taken up. Because what I wanted was something like this. I said, okay, I want to stick to this Monday through Friday and have my weekends somewhat free. I'll be willing to work a Saturday every now and again. Sunday, I want off permanently. Child, Sunday is going to be my most working day. Ain't that's about a bitch. So, complete opposite of what I was thinking. I was thinking I was going to have a steady darn going schedule all the way through. I was thinking something like, okay. Oh, also, it's in Pacific Standard Time. So if you're not in the West Coast, you got to convert yourself. So it's going to show everything in Pacific Standard Time. And you got to make sure that when you're choosing your schedule, like if you're choosing that you want to work 10 o'clock in the morning, you got to choose 7 o'clock in the morning on the thing because 7 o'clock PST is equivalent to 10 p.m. EST. So you got to do your own conversions if you're in a different time zone. So we're doing all of this at the spare of the moment Because once again, we supposed to gotten a notification about Shiftbid that Friday. None of us did not get the thing except for one person. They said they got something that was talking about a Shiftbid on Wednesday. Nobody else got that darn on email. So come Monday, honey, we all scrounging for the leftovers. And then I thought I was bad. Honey, it was some people that, it was some complaints in that doggone room today, child. Some people only, it was so bad that the thing is, they going to have to get a schedule handpicked for them. Because you had to choose a minimum of 36 hours. Another thing that I was not, it was a little bit less than what I was thinking, because I was like, okay, I thought we had to choose a minimum of 40. Like I said, everything we was taught in training went out the window. So instead of picking a minimum of 40 hours from your preferences, you had to choose the bid, the actual bid, which this week you had to choose a minimum of 36 hours. That includes your lunch break. So they'll subtract your lunch breaks, and then you'll get your remaining hours. So for me, I am scheduled, as far as pay, I'm going to get 33 hours in a week. That's my pay for the next 3 weeks, because the shift bid goes from anywhere from 1 week to 3 weeks, depending on how busy the season is. So right now, this is going to be my set schedule for the next 3 weeks. So for me, Sunday, and like I said, I really screwed myself up with this. I don't even know how the reviews about the darn gonna come through in the next darn going few days. But see, here's the ironic thing. I might be able to start just doing them on Fridays, because, honey, Friday is a short day for me. Ain't this about a blimp? But I done set myself up for the hokey doke where I'm working long days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then Tuesday, Wednesday are my short days. Thursday is off, and Friday is like a medium day. Y'all want to see why I say that? So once again, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the days that you typically will want the rest is going to be my working days. But it turns out that really works out for the best for me, because I stay with a demon who's off on the weekends and shit. And it's like I don't really get no peace on the weekend anyway. So, I can go ahead and make those my working days to be, secluded in here and be making my money anyways. So it's like, okay, I can see Saturday. But damn, Monday, it's like, shit, I'm losing a damn weekday. I did not want to be doggone, I was not trying to work this late all Monday. But like I said, Tuesday, Wednesdays are my short days. So let me tell y'all my schedule. So starting with Sunday. Sunday, I'm working from 10 in the morning to 6 p.m. at night. Monday is 9:30 in the morning to 6 p.m. at night. Tuesday is 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Yeah, y'all heard that right. It was so bad that I only was able to get 2.5 hours for both Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday are 11 a.m. to darn 1:30 p.m. But since I'm brand new to this, that might be a blessing. So I won't be so overwhelmed on the phones and stuff. I get 2 down days, somewhat, just to lightly get a little pay. But it's like, it gets me acclimated. So in disguise, I'm looking at the good side of this. I'm like, okay, this might somewhat work out for me. Now, Thursday was mandatory off, because our first Thursday is going to be Thanksgiving. But the thing is with that, it did not take into consideration, like, okay, what about the other Thursdays afterwards? So it's like y'all didn't give us an option to pick a schedule for Thursday anyway. So I don't know what was up with that. Like, why couldn't we choose the other Thursday? So just because one Thursday is a holiday, for all of us coming out of training, Thursday is not an option, period, for us. Since that first Thursday is grayed out, it wouldn't let us choose the subsequent Thursdays to work from. So by default, every last one of us in our training class for 3 weeks, when we get out, and our start date is November 21st. So for 3 weeks up until December something, we're not going to be able to work. Nobody coming out of training, at least in our class, is going to be able to work a Thursday, just because that first Thursday is a Thanksgiving. So all of us is off on Thursday. So basically I got like 3 days back to back. So it's basically like I'm darn going, you know, 3 days on and darn going 3 days off a little bit, because once again, Tuesdays and Wednesdays I'm working from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Thursday I'm off. Friday is from 9 in the morning to 2:30, so that's like a medium shift. So I got 5.5 hours there. And then Saturday, you know, the end it on out is 9 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. So once again, 9 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. So Saturday, Sunday, and Mondays are going to be my darn on hard working days, back to back to back. But the good thing is, I still get to at least look at my darn on folks, you know, my YouTube folks that come on later on at night. So the other folks though, I was hearing that, child, they had to choose from the early morning shift, because the thing is with Amazon, we're open from, I think, like 3 in the morning to like 12 something at night. And there is only a 3-hour closing time from 12 at night to 3 o'clock in the morning. But from 3 in the morning Pacific Standard Time to 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, they're open. Anything in that 12 a.m. Pacific to 3 a.m. So in my time, that would be from 3 in the morning to 6 in the morning. So from 3 in the morning to 6 in the morning, they're closed. Eastern Standard Time. But honey, I was hearing some folks didn't have no choice but to work a schedule. Like one day they're going to be working 4 in the afternoon to like 7 at night. And then they're going to have to turn around the very a couple days after and work 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like, oh no, that would have been healthy for me. Some folks were darn going irritate. They was like, honey, I'm ready to quit. I'm ready to give this up. This some bullshit. Like they was literally going in, and I couldn't blame them. Honey, I'll be damned if y'all about to tell me I'm about to be working one day, something like 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 9 o'clock at night. And then I got to turn around 2 days later and then work a morning shift. Like, I'm all over the place. Like, that don't make no sense. And then some folks that were complaining because they got days like me on Tuesday and Wednesday where you just working 2.5 hours for the day. And that's it. It's like, well, damn, what was the point of even working? But see, the thing is this. You actually had to choose that because on the thing, it would not let you click complete until you chose the minimum of 36 hours. Now, the only caveat to that is you could have had those days off, but then you would have had an extremely long day, like like you had to add those hours onto another day. And it's like, unless you want to work 12 hours in a day plus, some folks actually did. So they would have been low-key a little bit mad at my schedule, because the way that my blocks was set up is, like, if I wanted to work a 12-hour day on both Sunday, Monday, and I think Friday was wide open for me as well, where I could have chose like 10 hours available. It's just I did not want to work that long amount of hours. Especially since it's going to be coming up holiday seasons. I'm going to have to start doing skincare reviews and all of that. I'm going to start shipping out some products more and more towards my aesthetic clients and all that. Also in the midst of house searching. So I was like, I need at least a couple days of free time doing business hours, which is 9 to 5. Like, give me a couple free hours within business hours. So if I end up actually finally moving in the midst of all of this, I would be able to do so easy. But if I was working, like, if I was darn going 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. throughout all the days of the week, that would have not worked for me. So it's a blessing in disguise that Thursdays are going to be off for me, and Tuesdays and Wednesdays are only 11 to 1:30. So whenever I do start to plan this move, I do have those 3 days to work into my schedule. So I got a full 3 days pretty much to allocate for moving and all of that in the midst of my schedule. So this schedule really worked out as a blessing for me. But unfortunately, for my fellow darn going classmates, honey, not so much. And then it was like, it was so few hours left. What done happen is they kept getting error messages because there were so few hours left that every time they tried to choose something, it would turn the error color, because we have a specific color that reads up as an error, which means you cannot choose it. And some folks thought that the schedule was being taken up, but I'm thinking what happened was, since you have less than 36 hours to choose from, you just can't choose nothing at all, and now your team manager is going to have to give you a scrap schedule, which is something that nobody wants. And then they said, if that happens, if you do not choose your schedule at all, you can get written up for not participating. So it's like, well, is you going to give those folks an exception? Because it's like, number one, we did not get the email. Number two, we're still in training. And then number three, the darn schedule is completely opposite of what we was taught in training. So for the folks who were unfortunate to now have to have their schedule choose for them, it's like, I don't think they should get penalized for that. It's like, now, bitch, I know damn well y'all ain't about to have me on a scrap schedule where I can work, where you about to have me working one day in the afternoon, another one in the morning, another one in the early morning, and then you going to penalize me too? Because y'all didn't send the email to me. Honey, I would be hot as fish grease too. So, yeah, y'all, be prepared for that. Make sure y'all, when y'all get into training, because most of y'all going to probably see this sometime next year in 2022, because this is a seasonal position. This does not apply to full-time agents. Y'all have a dedicated schedule. This is for flex agents only. So anybody in the future looking at this as far as flex agents, yeah, definitely make sure to inquire about that in a timely manner, just in case this darn gonna happens again. Y'all will be, abreast of the situation. And do not hesitate. Don't wait. Soon as they tell you to go get the set in the schedule, honey, just know, get the darn on picking. And every 4.5 hours, make sure you leave a space blank. The darn and trust me, you gonna know when you get there. It's sounding all gibberish to you right now because you don't see a visual of it. But once again, play back this video a day before the darn schedule comes out, and then you're going to know what I'm talking about. Every 4.5 hours, make sure you got that darn block. If you want to work a double, make sure there's 8 hours in between the first shift, the end of the first shift, and the start of the second shift, and you will be all right. But yeah, y'all, I'm going to inquire though, like, once we get out of training, how do we end up getting notified in the future? Like, because, child, I ain't trying to be like them getting caught up 2 o'clock. Especially since I found out seasonal is not what I thought it was. Here's another surprise, y'all. I touched on this in my second week review of Amazon. Seasonal can be as long as 9 months. Which is like, well, damn, that's 3/4 of the damn year. That's that's winter, spring, and summer, child. It's like you can hold me on for 9 months if need be. That's more like a long-term temporary job at that point. But they say the shortest stay is like 6 months. So at the minimum, y'all keeping us until October, November, December, January, February, March. I'm thinking that, seasonal, we about to end this come like the end of January, mid-February, but actually I'm going to be with Amazon at the minimum until March. And I'm hoping it's going to be March for me, because by March I should have my stuff together as far as my aesthetics business, and I should be, transitioning on out. I really hope that, no more shit comes down with the COVID, because if COVID gets hefted, they're going to more likely keep us for 9 months, and that will be a mixed blessing for me, because I will, I stay, but it's like, I'm trying to get back to doing my main thing. But yeah, y'all, that is the hecticness that happened today with Amazon in the Shiftbid, honey. The Shiftbid was sugar honey iced tea. So be prepared for that. When it's time for y'all Shiftbid to be up on it. Like I said, hopefully when we get out of training, we will get more of a timely manner of, knowing when the Shiftbid is open, so we can get some more desirable hours. Because like I said, this, you know, for right now in my life situation, and like I said, maybe this was fate that this worked out like this, because I wouldn't even thought of a schedule like this. I was thinking, you know, a set schedule Monday through Friday, child. I was thinking, you know what, let me just go on here and choose 40 hours, you know, this, that, and the third. And then there's another thing. I will be volunteering for overtime if I can. They say, ironically, you don't get much calls on Thanksgiving. You get the complaints after the holidays, people not receiving their gifts. So I'm still contemplating if I might can slide in for darn going. But see, shit, I probably wouldn't qualify though, because I was thinking like, shoot, for me to darn gonna get overtime at my hours, I would need 7.5 more hours added on. And I'm trying to think, what day would that be? It's like, because here's another caveat. You can't work 7 days in a row. So it's not like you can do, my only day off is Thursday. So they couldn't put it on Thursday because then they would put me at 7 days in a row. So that's another thing. You can only work a maximum of 6 days in a row. So that means they would actually have to add it to one of my shorter days, like Tuesday or Wednesday. Oh, see, now this really messed me up. So I couldn't work darn on Thanksgiving if I wanted to. Due to the way my schedule is set up, I wouldn't be able to work Thursday because it violates the law. Because once again, it's impossible for me to work 7 days straight in a row. So yeah, I wouldn't even qualify to even work for Thanksgiving. So look like Thanksgiving, I'm automatically off. Let's say if I wanted to work Black Friday, I'm scheduled from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. I guess I could add some extra hours on to that if I wanted to. It's like, But see, I don't want to do that only because Saturday, Sunday, and Monday are very long days. And I'm not trying to have 4 long days back to back, especially during the holiday. It's like, child, I'm trying to get my shopping in too. It's like, well, hell, I got to have at least one day. I'm already losing out on Small Business Saturday. I'm losing out on Cyber Monday because I'm scheduled from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's like, honey, I got to at least have darn on Black Friday. Is like, I get out at 2:30 p.m. Okay, that's good. I still can darn on partake in Black Friday, child. The thing is, I don't even celebrate Thanksgiving. I would have worked Thanksgiving, but once again, they darn gonna close out Thanksgiving. I don't even have the option to even darn gonna put in no overtime with that. So that's interesting. So that's another thing. By the time Christmas comes around, they say we automatically close on Christmas, but we're open on New Year's Day. It's like when it comes to certain holidays, it's like I want to know how, how to put in for, to work those days. You get paid, extra pay for those days. So I would love to know how to do that. And then match that with darn on overtime pay, child. Honey, come the next 3 weeks, honey, we're going to be up on it. Because the next 3 weeks, Diva Wine is going to try to aim for a 40-hour schedule. And then get in some overtime. And then we're going to see how that fares out with the overtime. And then we combine that with some holiday pay, child. Like I said, Diva Wine trying to stack this money to get the heck up out of this darn on rundown shack, child. But right now, they got me at 33 hours. So pretty decent. It's darn going, it's exactly 6 hours more than our actual training schedule, because our training schedule, we get paid for 27.5 hours. And with this right here, this is 33.5 hours. So I guess it's a good acclimation, acclimate me over to the workflow without overwhelming me. So like I say, that's why I say that this was somewhat a blessing in disguise. Because like I said, the way it's set up, I can still search for houses Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I still get pretty decent hours. It's not too short, not too long. So that works out for me as well. And it's only 6 more hours than what we doing in training overall for the entire week. So basically equivalent to just 1 extra day of work. Because our training is from 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. So 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So it's equivalent to like just adding an extra day to your schedule. Once again, 6 days instead of 5. So pretty decent. But like I said, everybody, it was quite a few people that did not get no decent schedule at all, and some of them have to get their schedules picked for them, child. Ooh, just a mess. But that is it, y'all. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. Definitely darn gonna keep this darn gonna video saved. Come for that day with the schedule as a flex agent. Honey, like I said, jump on it. Make sure you darn gonna get the bid in. Don't wait for your... Because that was what was really setting some of the students up in the classroom. Some of them was darn gonna waiting too long. And some of their schedules was getting taken as they was work. Because, honey, as soon as I noticed that I was getting the error message, I caught on quick. I was like, oh, hell no. Honey, I quickly darn gonna got what I needed, child. I didn't really get what I wanted, but at the end of the day, I got what was darn gonna needed for me to darn gonna still make a decent pay, child. So that is it, y'all. Oh, one more thing before I get out of here. Now, some folks was complaining that they thought that this job was only part-time, and that they was confused about the fact that we was getting 36 to 40 hours. I was like, child, you really gonna be mad when the overtime come around? Like, because they even said that, you know, even though you can work an average of 20 to 29 hours, be expected to work 40 hours. And then if the peak is high enough, you might be pulled in for mandatory overtime, where you can work as much as up to... Now, it's going to be very rare that they require you to work, especially with how many people have signed on. Don't expect to have 20 hours of mandatory overtime. Now, you can volunteer for that much if you wanted to, I think. But I think it's extremely rare that you are going to get 20 hours of mandatory overtime. But what can happen is you might get pulled in for as much as 5 or 8 hours of overtime, and which in most states is a pay and a half. Now, I know certain states it might be like 80%, so check your state's laws and stuff. I know in the state of North Carolina, it's a pay and a half. So at $15 an hour, any hours over 40, you will get paid $22.50 instead. So also take that into consideration. But yeah, even though they say your average work time is between 20 to 29 hours, during the holiday season, definitely be prepared to work as much as 40 to 50 hours. So yeah, that was threw me off as well. Some people was confused by that. And they actually say that they don't recommend you having another job with this company. They meant that for a reason. It's because some folks was like, wait a minute, I got another thing going on. I was like, child, this ain't one of those jobs where you want to have another darn gonna work from home in between, especially if it's set hours that you can't control. Now, if it's another job where you actually get to have control of the hours or whatnot, that's one thing. I know one job that I just got finished doing with insurance, said, you know, the hours were completely within my control. But if you got a job where it's set hours, you cannot control it, yeah, you can't juggle both of these too tough, child. Because you can't tell Amazon, because it was stated in the contract that you do not supposed to have another job. Now, I have the advantage of, you know, having my business, because once again, it's my business and I get to set my own hours and stuff. But if you're working for somebody else, it's like, yeah, be prepared to work this full time and nothing else, unless you are like me and you get to set your own hours around this schedule, or you got another job where you are able to shift your hours accordingly. 100%. Not darn going you're having a set schedule, because once again, if you have a set schedule, you're going to be messed up, child, with this job. So with that being said, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.